very long way, so whenever I'm talking, if you guys want to be quiet, and then if you guys have any questions for me, raise your hands. I will address you at any point in time. Not right now. Pretty much how this is going to work, I'm going to show you guys some movies real quick. I'll explain what we're going to be seeing in them, and then when we go through our tour, the same rules are going to apply, except I'll be talking with a much louder voice because I'm a much louder individual. I'm holding myself back because we're indoors. Okay, so what you're going to see in this movie right here is it's going to be a movie on the Battle of Cowpens specifically. So you're going to be seeing this from a viewpoint of a militiaman whose name is Thomas Young, who turned 17 the day the battle here was fought. So he actually is one of the few militiamen who's able to read and write that gives us really accurate descriptions of the battle and what took place. And so we have been able to use those to restore the battlefield and make a wonderful movie for you guys. So enjoy.
How about a lion? Someone turn the lights off. I spent me. Finally. Sorry.
The day dawned cold and quiet. I never forget just how still that morning was. That'd soon change, Sammy.
Manny's farmhouse up the road. Let's move. Let's go, boys. Get up your arms. Manny's coming.
Master Todd.
Let's go. Roll out. Look to your weapons. Look to your smart. Manny's coming. We're gonna meet him.
Fine, as General Morgan called him.
Get on your arms, boys. Get up your arms.
Tartan was something else again. Rash, brave to a fault. If he was on our side, consider him a hero. But to us, Tartan was nothing more than a prime cutthroat. Butchered hundreds of our lads at Waxhaws in May. We hated him. South Carolina hated him. I heard Tartan had around 1,200 redcoats with him. As for us, we had 600 Continentals, men from Virginia, Delaware, and Maryland. And we had over 1,000 militia. Most were from the Carolinas. One of them volunteers was me. It was so cold that morning. I don't know if our shivers was from the cold or from downright fear.
Scared than redcoats?
They say when danger stares you in the face, it's best not to see. Yeah, I was scared all right, Sally. I was scared white. You see, it was a hard, wild land back then. Thorns, briars, chiggers, rain and ice in the winter, hot as the dickens in the summer. Swamps, Indians, and wolves.
Wolves?
Wolves roamed the upcountry in packs. But the British, things weren't going well up north. So in 1780, General Cornwallis come down, determined to keep the South under the crown. See, Sammy, England was desperate for our rice and our indigo. So the British took Charleston in May. A couple of weeks later, Tartan butchered a bunch of our boys at Waxhaw. Then in August, those redcoats took Camden. So you see, Sammy, at the time, things weren't looking so good. George Washington named General Nathaniel Greene to command the Southern Army. Greene decided to cut his forces too. Spent the Tories. Confound Cornwallis. He ordered General Daniel Morgan into South Carolina. A flying army, they called it. Orders were to threaten British posts in the Carolina backcountry, generally annoy the enemy in that quarter, and spirit up the people. This, of course, didn't sit too well with Cornwallis, so he sent Tartan after him.
So you were with General Morgan?
Those were Continentals, regular soldiers, brave men, trained to stand up to those British bayonets. I was with Pickens' militia. Volunteers we was. Citizen soldiers fighting for the lands that we own. Fighting for our
So is
families.
this a movie?
Fighting for
So is this a
Carolina.
movie?
Morgan sent word off to Pickens for us militia to meet the Continentals at this place called the Cowpens. For years, stockmen brought their cattle there to fatten up before shipping them down to Charleston. Them history men say we shouldn't have fought where we did, that our sides was open. Even Tartan himself said it was the perfect place to give us a whooping. But Sammy, Morgan was a good one. A hero at Saratoga, wounded in the French and Indian War, shot in the back of the neck.
In his neck?
Straight through. The ball took out a couple of his teeth, come out his lip. That scar meant more to him than any medal ever could.
Get that smirk off your face.
Tartan, on the other hand, bought himself a commission. Went to one of those fancy English schools. But Morgan had the kind of smarts they can't teach in school. And at the Cowpens, he had the wits to lay a trap for that hot-headed Tartan. The day of the battle, Morgan's plan was simple. He put about 150 boys, sharpshooters they call them, way out in front. Draw the redcoats in. That was the first line. About 150 yards behind was another line. That's where I was, with Pickens' men. Down the slope, and hidden from the redcoats' sights, was the third line. John Howard's Maryland boys, Kirkwood's Delawares, and some Virginians. The Continentals. And behind it all, Billy Washington and his cavalry. I think must have been almost 200 of them. I can still see their faces. Dead-Eye Hughes, Cherokee Jim Savage, raised by the Cherokees. Me, they call me Hawkeye because I've grown up near the mountains. I readied myself for Tartan. Readied myself to die.
Die, Grandpa?
Ready to die. Willing to die. Maybe because of something that happened the night before the battle. We was round the fire, trying to keep warm. Then, I never forget, General Morgan himself come around to visit with us.
We got a big fight coming tomorrow. And some Wagoneer's gonna break his whip across Van's back. We'll run him off.
An old frontier man, tough, feared no man. Morgan was more than just a regular army. He was a rifleman. He knew the back country, how to fight there.
3 good shots and you're free.
He seemed to understand those militiamen, why we was there. Told us to keep in good spirits and the day would be ours.
When you get home, the old folks, they gonna bless you. And the young girls are gonna ride the streets and kiss you. And your names will be immortalized for your gallant conduct on the field.
That's not.
You also go get some rest, alright?
That night, I realized Morgan wasn't just a general. He was one of us. Early the next morning, we was spotted by Tartan scouts. It was the moment old Barney had been hoping for. They all started coming out of the trees. They were in a long, thin line. Scots Highlanders, British regulars, and the Dragoons. Tartan's plan to ride right over us. He didn't realize he was about to ride straight into a trap. The first line had orders to fire away. Aim for the officers so they wouldn't have no leaders. Then they were to retreat to our line. Wait for the British to come close, fire one more shot, get behind the Continental lines. That's when it all began. Two little cannons started popping at us. When it was about 50 yards away, our first line popped back out. Then just according to Morgan's plans, the sharpshooters retreated to the second line. Now it was our turn.
Hey, for the uplets, boys! Hey, we're going for the uplets!
We waited real still. When they got about 40 yards from us, I fired at an officer. He just kind of stopped, and then he sunk down. After firing our shots, we ran back behind the Continentals just as planned. But then, some of Tarleton's dragoons come down. Then Washington come out from behind the hill and cut him apart. If not for our cavalry, things might have turned out different that day. But those redcoats kept a coming. Waiting for him, just below the rise, was Morgan's surprise.
Go and tell the women, boys!
Our Continentals. Morgan held us militia back about 100 yards. It was from there that I saw the whole thing. There was the force of the guns, streams of the hit horses, commands, sweat, smoke. Then on our right side, out of nowhere it seems, come the Scots Highlanders. Did that ever raise the hackles on my neck? And that's when things got muddled up. The Continental's right flank was ordered to face around and meet the Highlanders. But it was so loud, not everyone heard the whole order. I think some of them just heard march. So instead of turning to face the enemy, they started marching. Back. To old Tartan, it must have looked like we was on the run. As the Continentals marched back, Morgan had to reload on the way. Then they were to pick a spot and turn. Meanwhile, the Highlanders was coming on them like a mob and closing in fast. They thought they'd won the battle then and there. And Sammy, this is the point of the whole story. I can't remember if one man turned first or a dozen. Somehow, hundreds of them on the right did turn and fired as one man. Colonel Washington later described it as a murderous fire. But it was Sammy. We then charged. Next thing I know, Washington's cavalry swooped down for one side, and then us militia come around the other way. That was it. The trap door was closed shut. The Brits were on the ground, quite scared. More than 800 were now our prisoners. It all happened so quick. They hardly knew what hit them. Seeing almost his entire force captured, Tarleton took off. Billy Washington and his men went after him, but that scoundrel got away. I think we lost only about 20 men killed. It all worked out, according to General Morgan's plan. But then it almost didn't. We come close as a feather to being wiped out. Damn Charleston fancies called us mountain people the absolute scum of the universe. You know, our Continentals did fight bravely. But us militia helped win the battle for them. If it hadn't been for Cowpens, there wouldn't be no Yorktown. And if it hadn't been for Cowpens, the whole South could have stayed a British colony. It's like I can close my eyes and see it right now. That cold, icy sky. The redcoats coming after us with their bayonets. The shouting. The screaming. And I'll never forget the looks on their faces when they realised they'd done been trapped. Sammy, I never told this to no one. Don't want to talk about it again. 44 years ago. But you always remembered what I told you. Always.
That's quick.
I like how they made the tree. Okay, I'm about to fall asleep. Wasn't this door just done in my eyes just and I'm gonna start falling asleep? I'm just gonna tell you that. Same.
Ethan, were you videoing it the whole time?
Yeah.
That's illegal, bro.
Bro,
That's copywriting. You should not know that, Easton.
I think it's gonna happen, but my phone off. I didn't.
I've been saying that the whole time.
I didn't.
You
Nope.
know that's sort of illegal. How I said that. It's not saying that.
What?
Video illegal in actual
Yeah.
copywriting. I know that's illegal.
Nice.
Easton. Turn the
Turn it
phone
off.
off. Easton,